Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to this new set of tutorials about using databases with Visual Basic .NET. Okay, usually when you want to work with the databases in the .NET framework, for example in C# or VB, you can use a library called ADO.NET, and this library is used to manage the communication between your application and database. You have to understand some of the basic principles of how this library works so that you can later on work with it and modify it so the way it works that suits your problem the best. Okay, so first thing of all, this chart is used to clarify the idea of how your application is communicating with the database. I have to indicate that this is not exactly the chart that you are gonna see if you search for the description of or the structure of ADO .NET in the internet. You will find the structure looks different, but here I am doing it this way, although it's not accurate. It's just for a clarification and making things easier for you guys. So let's see what this means. Okay, the first thing that we have is your database. Okay, and this is where all your information is physically stored. This could be your Access database file, your MySQL database, your Oracle database server or SQL server, and so on. Okay, now your information is stored here. In order to access your information, you are gonna need to use a number of software layers. Each one's gonna do some specific job. Now let's come to the adapter. The adapter's job is to get the information from the database and put it into a memory. Okay, this memory is called the dataset. Okay, in other words, it will load the information from database and put it into a buffer. It's much easier if you think about it like this. When the information is updated in the buffer, the adapter will take it back and update the database. Okay, the information in the buffer can be accessed right away, or you can do some kind of management in order to display it in the in a number of controls. Okay, what I mean here is that when you want to display the information of a table, surely the information of the table should be inside the data set. This is first. You don't want to worry about viewing each row and each single column. Instead, you are going to define a binding source and select a control that is designed to work with the data set. Okay, the binding source and the graphical user interface will work together in order to display the information for you. Okay, again, this graph is not totally accurate, but it's just used to describe things. Okay, so let's create a simple database application and see how this applies. So I'm gonna minimize this. We have on the desktop an Access database file. You can try to create a simple Access database file and create a number of tables in that. Okay, here we have two tables, people names, the other one is purchase. Okay, each table should have a primary key, so make sure you are having a primary key there. Okay, so after we have this, start your Visual Basic.NET, check out the compile options. Okay, although I doubt you are gonna need to do that, but In my case I have to. So if you check the controls, you are gonna see a list of controls right here. You have the data set, data grid view, binding source, binding navigator, and some extra controls that you won't see in your installation, simply because these are development tools from Oracle. You won't see them. So we want to display the table on our form. We are going to use the data grid. Okay, so place the data grid right here. Now, as you can see, it displays nothing, surely. In order to display the information from the graph, what you see here, this is the data grid, okay, the graphical user interface. We are gonna need a binding source to link the information, to link this graphical user interface with the data grid control. So click on the binding source and draw it on the form. So you're gonna get it here. Okay, I'm gonna modify the name and write BS. Go to the data source. Okay, you can see none here. Click here and select add project data source.